Commentary on Revelation 9 to 27. This passage unfolds as a visionary unveiling of the bride, the Lamb's wife, presented not as a future physical city, but as a covenantal reality, the fulfilled community of God in union with Christ. The imagery is symbolic, rich with prophetic continuity, and reflects the culmination of redemptive history already realized in the transition from the Old Covenant world to the New. Verses 9 to 10. The bride revealed, the angel invites John to behold the bride, and what he sees is the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. This identification is crucial. The bride is the city, and the city is not a literal structure but a people. It is the corporate identity of those fully united with the Lamb. The descent out of heaven signifies divine origin, not physical relocation. This is not about geography, but about source and nature. The New Jerusalem represents a heavenly reality made manifest. God's people established in their completed standing, no longer defined by earthly systems or temple-centered worship. The glory of God. The city radiates with divine glory, described like a precious stone. This reflects the fulfillment of what was once localized in the temple. The glory that once dwelt behind a veil now fully permeates the people themselves. The community is not merely reflecting God's presence, it is saturated with it. Verses 12 to 14. The gates and foundations. The 12 gates, bearing the names of the tribes of Israel, and the 12 foundations named after the apostles, signify the unity of God's people across covenantal history. This is not two separate peoples, but one fulfilled reality. Israel and the apostolic witness converge here, showing that what was promised in the prophets finds its completion in the apostolic proclamation. The structure is symbolic of continuity and fulfillment, not replacement, but consummation. Verses 15 to 17. Measured perfection. The city is measured as a perfect cube, its length, width, and height equal. This echoes the most holy place in the temple, which was also a cube. The implication is profound. What was once a restricted space is now expanded to encompass the entirety of God's people. The perfection of measurement signifies completeness and divine order. Nothing is lacking, nothing is out of place. The dwelling of God is no longer confined but fully realized in his people. Verses 18 to 21. Precious materials and open access. The materials, gold, jasper, pearls, symbolize purity, value, and permanence. These are not construction details, but theological statements. The community is refined, incorruptible, and eternally secure. The gates are always open, and there is no night. This speaks of uninterrupted access and the absence of separation. What once required mediation through priests and sacrifices is now freely and fully available. Verses 22 to 23. No temple, no sun. John sees no temple in the city, because the Lord God and the Lamb are its temple. This is a decisive statement. The entire sacrificial and temple system has reached its end in fulfillment. There is no need for a physical structure because the presence of God is no longer mediated. It is immediate and all-encompassing. Likewise, the absence of sun and moon signifies that created sources of light are unnecessary. Divine illumination has fully taken over. Verses 24 to 26. The nations and their glory. The nations walking by its light and bringing their glory into it reflects the inclusion of all peoples into this covenantal reality. The distinction between Jew and Gentile dissolves here, not by erasure of identity, but by shared participation in the same completed work. The open gates reinforce that access is unrestricted. There is no longer an outer court or exclusionary boundary. All who are part of this reality dwell in the same light. Verse 27. Nothing unclean. The statement that nothing unclean enters the city is not about future exclusion, but about the nature of the city itself. It is inherently pure. Those written in the Lamb's Book of Life are those fully identified with him, defined not by their own merit, but by their union with the Lamb. This is not a warning of potential loss, but a declaration of identity. The city consists only of those who belong, and their belonging is secure. Summary. Revelation 21, 9 to 27 presents a symbolic vision of fulfilled union between God and his people. The imagery of the city, the bride, the temple, and the light all converge to communicate one reality: the complete, perfected dwelling of God with humanity. What was once anticipated through types and shadows, temple, priesthood, covenant distinctions, has reached its fullness. The barriers are gone, the The structure has given way to substance, and the presence of God is no longer approached, but fully realized within his people. This is not a distant future hope, but the unveiled reality of a completed redemptive work, where God and his people dwell in unbroken unity.